The following is a presentation of the Fairfax Network.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos. Hello, welcome to World Tour Language Series and Spanish Program number 13. Spanish Program number 13 of our series. My name is Mrs. Ada. Me llamo Doña Ada. And I'd like to welcome you with our objectives for today's lesson. Today we have more about Puerto Rico. We will have a video and some pictures about Puerto Rico. We will talk about el coqui, and I'll tell you more about it. We will talk about birds of Puerto Rico, and we will learn telling time, how to say time in Spanish. We are going now to invite you to follow this presentation of Puerto Rico while I explain as you watch. Here we have La Capilla del Cristo. Here is the park of the Convent of the Nuns, where we have also La Plaza San Jose with our first governor statue, Ponce de Leon. We have La Fortaleza, which is our equivalent of the White House here, with all the old interiors from the Spanish time, and we also have the patios also that are taken from the Spanish architecture. We will find also not only Spanish architecture, but Moorish architecture that also influenced in Spain as well. See our balconies, very, very Spanish, and the patios inside, interior patios with all our typical plants and palm trees from Puerto Rico. These buildings have been restored and to preserve our heritage, as you can see. See, this is Moorish. You see the entrance of our White House, or Fortaleza, which we call Fortaleza. Here we have the Institute of Puerto Rican Culture. This is the entrance, and here we have a view of the gate of San Juan. This is Old San Juan with its typical Spanish streets. Here we have La Capilla del Cristo with the nuns that are called Servitas de María, and they have been in Puerto Rico for many years since the Spaniards, since the Spanish time. Here we have La Puerta de San Juan, San Juan's gate, and children visiting also El Parque de las Palomas, where you find local artists painting. In this place is called El Arsenal, and we keep our Puerto Rican arts. Here is again the Institute of Cultural Puerto Rican Culture, where we experience our culture in ballet, as well as in paintings and art. Here we have also local paintings, local painters. Here we have Old San Juan with its visitors that come through cruises, and you saw a little glimpse of El Morro as well. Puerto Rico is very popular with his cruises around. It is a getaway to other islands of the area of the Caribbean. Here we have El Perro, we call it, and this is in the Condado Lagoon, La Laguna del Condado. It is a tourist belt. As you can see, there's lots of beaches and hotels. So I hope you have enjoyed visiting with me my island. I'm going to talk to you about El Coquí. El Coquí is a little frog. It is the smallest frog in the world, tree frog rather, the smallest one. And we pronounce it coqui, Q-U. Do you remember that U is silent? Coqui. And we call it coqui because of its sounds. It goes at night in the evenings. When it reaches sometime in the evening, it goes coqui, coqui. Especially when it's raining, this little frog sound appears. Many visitors can't get used to it when they go to sleep at night with the coqui sound, but to us, it's very familiar. I want to show you a picture of El Coquí and the size of it. It is really that size. The coqui, it's that size, and we put a coin next to it so you could appreciate the size of El Coquí. And we have another picture that I want to show you of El Coquí resting in a hammock. There is El Coquí resting. So it's very, very small. When my children and I visit Puerto Rico, we were giving a little coqui and my boy wanted to take it with him in the plane. Of course, it wasn't allowed, but that's as small as it is. Now we're going to talk, because we're talking about Puerto Rico, we're going to see some pictures of the typical birds of Puerto Rico. And I'm going to explain each bird. The word birds in Spanish is pájaros. Pájaros, with an A, an accent in the A, and then that J, pájaros. Pájaros, that means birds. And these things you don't find in your workbook, so it will be nice if you can jot them down and talk about it to your friends. Let's start with the first pájaro that I have. It is called zumbadorcito. Say that word with me. Zumbadorcito. And this is the equivalent of the hummingbird, because this bird zooms and it hums as well. This is from the center of the island, and it's always flying as if it were a helicopter. It balances and floats in the same place. The zumbadorcito nests are flat like a plate under a leaf. Zumbadorcito. Let's go to the next one. And we have here, the next bird is called la reinita. La reinita. Reinita means little queen. You see the ITA on that word? Reinita, that's the diminutive. Reinita, little queen. And this is the national bird of Puerto Rico. It's seen everywhere around the island. Her nest is of dry straws, like a ball with an opening on the side. It's always looking for a window or a tree to build the nest. Reinita. This is our national bird. Let's go to the next one. This one is la reinita mariposera. You see that word reinita comes again. Little queen, and mariposera. Mariposa means a butterfly. Mariposa means a butterfly, so they call it reinita mariposera, perhaps because it has beautiful colors like a butterfly. This is also from Puerto Rico, but also from the island of Vieques, this island next to the island of Puerto Rico. It is very much found also in the northern part of a town called Manatí. It likes to nest in dry grass and feathers. Its eggs are white with brown colored dots and is shaped as a crown. Maybe that's why they call it reinita, queen. It likes to live in sandy places. No problem with that. We've got lots of sand in the beach. Let's go to the next one, and we have the last bird, San Pedrito. Now, San Pedrito, San means saint, like San Juan, and Pedrito comes from the word Pedro, which is the name, a proper name. Pedrito is the diminutive of Pedro. San Pedrito makes his nest inside a hole. He lives in the forest or coffee plantations and in dry regions. He sings like looking always up high. He always has his head high when he sings. He's very valuable to us in Puerto Rico because he cleans by eating up insects or catching them. So San Pedrito, San Pedrito. Well, now that we have seen these birds, I hope you have enjoyed the presentation of Coquí and the presentation of birds. We have many, many things to share with you, so we're going to continue. And now we're going to present the lesson, which is the review, the presentation of telling time. And we're going to start on page 43 all the way to page 45 of your workbook. There are activities in this workbook practicing time. So open your workbook and let's go to ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? Now, hora means hour, but it also means time. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? ¿Qué? Remember, that is an interrogative word, and it has an accent, and then es is from the verb ser that we saw. ¿Qué hora es? And you will learn how to say the time in the AM, in the morning, AM. And how would you say AM in Spanish? De la mañana. De la mañana. Let's pronounce that very slowly. De la mañana. Now, pause here and remember those numbers that we learned the other day. We learned like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 5 a.m. How would you say that? If I ask you, ¿qué hora es? You say 5 de la mañana. And if you want to be better, you use the verb ser. You say son las 5 de la mañana. Let's for now just continue with de la mañana, and now we're going to go to PM. PM. And we're going to say de la tarde. De la tarde. Now you remember we learned those greetings, buenos dias, buenas tardes. Well, that word comes from that greeting, tarde. De la tarde. That means PM. De la tarde. And so the PM also means in the evening, and when it's evening or nighttime, we say de la noche. Very good. De la noche. See that word, noche, like when we learn buenas noches, we take that from our greeting, take that S out, and we say de la noche. So how would you say 8 p.m.? Estupendo, muy bien. 8 de la noche. 8 de la noche. And we have, when we say in the morning, how do we say in the morning? In the morning we say por la mañana. See, it changes a little bit. Por la mañana. In the morning. Por la mañana. So in the morning I get up. Por la mañana me levanto. Por la mañana. And if we want to say in the afternoon, we already know how to say afternoon. Yes, so we say por la tarde. Por la tarde. And if we want to say in the evening, we say por la noche. We learned already how to say noche. We just add this other word. Por la noche. 3 separate words. Por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. And so we are going to review all these things that we have learned today. We are also have 2 words that you're going to come across when you speak Spanish. If you want to say noon or midday, and when you want to say midnight. So if you say midday, it's the top one. It's el mediodía. Okay, let's just break this word to understand it. El, it is because it is the, and then mediodía. See, medio means half, or yes, half of something, and día is the day. So it makes sense that we say mediodía, half of the day. Now the next one, it's midnight. We already know how to say night. We just learned just now that the middle is media, so it's la media noche. So why do we say la and el on the top? El because we have día, and although it's finished, it ends in an A, the word día or day in English is masculine. Now don't get confused. You will eventually get all this really well. Keep practicing. And noche is a feminine word, so it's la noche. So it's el mediodía, la medianoche. So midnight or midday, or rather midday and midnight. I would invite you to practice. There is a very nice activity in the workbook where you can follow with a clock, and you can follow like a little boy schedule, and you can go around the clock and say it out loud. You can read what the time out loud, and you can, if you know the action verbs, what is happening, what the boy is doing, also remember to say AM and PM in Spanish when you read that activity, and write me about it and tell me how did you do, or what are your questions, or if you have anything you want to add to it, please do write me. We get ideas from you. At this point, I want to tell you that there's so many things, like I said before, that I'd like to share with you about my country, and especially about Old San Juan. And I invite you, when you have a chance to visit us, I'd like to show you some pictures and explain each picture. Here we have the church, our main cathedral, and it's very, 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 very Spanish. It has lots of steps up to the top, and it's right in the middle of Old San Juan, which is El Viejo San Juan. You remember you learned Old Viejo? So we call it Viejo San Juan because it's the very, very Spanish old town, El Viejo San Juan. And then we have, this is the entrance. Another picture that we have here, it is another picture inside. As you enter the cathedral and you walk in, you will see that we have very, very, very old aisle, a very old aisle with a very nice dome. This cathedral is very popular, very famous for the acoustics. When we have choirs, it sounds just beautiful. And in this cathedral, we have our first governor tomb, Juan Ponce de León. We have also the relics of St. Pius, a Roman martyr. And visitors like to visit and see these two things, these two special items that we have inside the cathedral. We also have another picture that I like to show you, and it is there. This is one of my favorites. This is La Capilla del Cristo. And it's really a little tiny chapel. Visitors that come through this, they walk down this street, this road, a handmade road, and you can see at the end, it is like a little wall, but inside is a chapel. It's called the Chapel of Christ, La Capilla del Cristo. And in this Capilla del Cristo, we have a legend that I would like to share with you. It is said that during a celebration of the Feast of St. John, you remember I said that we celebrate on the 24th of June every year. We celebrate the Feast of St. John, San Juan. It is our patron saint because it is our capital's name. They used to have traditional horse races down this road, down towards this capilla, this chapel. And along the road came a horseman who lost control of his horse. And as he was going very fast towards the wall, towards the little chapel, it looked like he was going to fall over in the city wall, and he was going to fall in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, which is next to it. And they claimed that there was a miracle happening because apparently there was a very religious officer watching these horse races, and as soon as he saw what was happening, he started to pray, and he asked for help, and help was given and granted to this horseman, where the horse immediately stopped right there at that wall, and in Thanksgiving, the chapel was built for protection, for further protection, as also because of the miracle. So there we have La Capilla del Cristo. Let's go to the next one, and I'm going to show you. This is right in Old San Juan as well. This is called San Jose Church, the Church of St. Joseph. You see, we have many churches because Puerto Rico is very, very religious Catholic. So we have here San Jose Church. This is originally a chapel for the Dominican priests. This is the second oldest church in the Western Hemisphere, and this is the main entrance. This is the church that was for Ponce de León, our first governor. He used to visit this church. And we go to another picture. I can show you a little more of Old San Juan, if we have it coming. This is also, I believe, yes, this is next to San Jose Church. We have built a museum. That little house that you see there, it is Pablo Casals Museum. Now, if you know, Pablo Casals was celloist. He played the cello. I don't know how to say it well in English, but he played the cello. He was very famous. He was Spanish, but he moved to Puerto Rico, to the island, and he had concerts all over the world. He played for personalities and governors and queens and kings, but he settled down in Puerto Rico and married a Puerto Rican lady, and we had built his museum here in Puerto Rico next to the old church of San Jose, where all his works, his music, people can visit and watch and see it. We also have another picture that I want to show you of old San Juan. Here we have the old street of San Juan. This typically very, very Spanish. This is the Viejo San Juan again in Spanish, Old San Juan. And as you walk down the streets, it's very hard on the shoes, walking down there, because they are handmade streets, roads by the slaves at the time of slavery and Spaniards, and they're still intact. And yes, there are cars go by, and they're open to the public. They're open for transit. So this is Old San Juan. Towards the very, very end, you can see the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean. And let's go to another picture and see what we have here from Old San Juan. Yes, well, I believe we have now, yes, we have, I just got so enthusiastic with the pictures that I forgot that we don't have any more pictures, but we do have a lesson to continue. I get very homesick. So here we have the colors, and I want to practice with you these colors because we didn't go through all the colors, and this was planned for me to do. So I'm going to start with the color, and I want you to tell me what color is this. Very good. This is marrón, or is pardo, or it's café. Very good. Café. And then we have this other color, and see what you can tell me about it. ¿Qué color es? Very good. This is morado, or púrpura. Very good. Púrpura. Morado or púrpura. What color is this? I'm saying in Spanish. ¿Qué color es? Very good. This is rojo. Red, rojo, rojo. And you can see I'm using masculine all the time because the word color, it's rojo. It's a masculine, so we're using rojo and not roja, rojo. So let's see this one. This doesn't really change this color. It's verde, verde, color verde. Verde. And let's see this other color. This we studied in a couple of lessons back. Anaranjado. Anaranjado. And it's orange. Do you know that the word anaranjado comes from the word naranja, which is a fruit, the orange? Just like in English, anaranjado is a very long word to learn. Let's see. ¿Qué color? Azul. Muy bien. Estupendo, mis estudiantes. Muy bien. Azul. Now, remember that azul do not change masculine or feminine. It stays the same. Azul. ¿Qué color? Muy bien. Amarillo. Not amarillo, but amarillo. Yo like yes. Amarillo. Amarillo. It's a long word just like anaranjado. Amarillo. And we have our last color, the pink. Rosado. Rosado. And just remember, I'm using masculine because I'm using the name color, which is masculine. And of course, what is this that I'm holding? This is a paper. And how would you say paper in Spanish? Papel. And is it masculine or feminine? Now give me an article. El papel. Very good. Muy bien, mis estudiantes. El papel, it is masculine, so I'm saying rosado, pink. Rosado. Now, if I were holding a pen, I would say rosada. And let's practice. I have here a pen with a color pen. Let's see this one. We can see this is a red pen. How would you say? La pluma. Very good. Roja. Exactly, because it is la pluma. Roja. La pluma roja. And so we are already practiced some of our colors. Keep practicing at home. Go through your closet, see those colors that you have. Keep practicing our colors in Spanish. I have some things that I want to share with you, and we are going to pause as we read them. In Puerto Rico, we have quite a few forts that were built during the Spaniards because we need them to protect ourselves. See, there were many invasions. The British, the Dutch, the French, they all wanted the island, and for many various reasons. So the Spaniards had to build this one, and one of the biggest fortress that they built in the area of the Caribbean was El Morro. El Morro. Now, El Morro is a short term for the whole name, which is called San Felipe del Morro. San Felipe del Morro. And then we have the third one is San Jerónimo, which is also a fort and is also in Old San Juan. So if you want to visit, say you want to visit El Morro and you want to visit San Jerónimo, also a beautiful fortress, Spanish fortress. And then we have La Fortaleza, which is our White House that we talked about when we saw the picture. La Fortaleza. So there, my students, three of the most important things in the old San Juan city of Viejo San Juan, which I would like you to have it in mind. These are not in the book, so if you want, jot them down and think about this. And for now, I have to say adios, and I will see you tomorrow. Keep studying. Keep in touch. Adios.